All right, we want to go ahead and call this meeting to order for the Legacy Fund, June 29th, 22 at 2:30. I know we have most of our members here, so if everyone wants to do a quick introduction for roll call, that would be great. Starla, let's start with you.
Starla James. Angela Gill.
Matt Ditton.
Anna Mitchell.
And Jennifer Justice, Chair.
Perfect.
And who else do we have on? I know you said we had Carol.
Yeah, we have Carol Dawkins with us as well. I believe she may want to speak during public comment
Okay.
later in the meeting.
Is there anyone else we need to acknowledge?
Nope, that's everyone.
All right, very good. With that, the meeting minutes were sent out from the last meeting, May 13th. Hopefully everyone got those. I'm going to take a quick view over those. But if anyone has any changes, let us know. Otherwise, I will entertain a motion to approve those meeting minutes if they look in order.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Do I have a second?
I can second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right. Next up, discussion items. I don't know if Matt's updating us or who's updating us there, but take it away.
We'll have Anna do the first part and then I'm gonna jump in on the second part there.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks, Matt. So as far as fundraising update, I'll give you an update on what is in the fund with the Greater Kansas City Community Foundation. Currently, there is $2,590.71. This is less than the May update that we provided for you because we have not had any new donations go into that fund, and they have taken out some of those administrative fees. So just an FYI on that. And that is $700 year to date that has been raised. Outside of that, an additional $200 was raised a couple Fridays ago with a Healthy Headquarters fundraiser. And we had a lot of participation and we received that $200 donation from Healthy Headquarters. So thank you to everyone who participated in that. I know I enjoyed getting myself, I believe I got the Leslie Nope tea, so that was pretty good. So the second half of this is creation of a separate fund. I know that in the past we've talked about a couple different avenues of where we can place our donated funds. And we've been using Greater Kansas City Community Foundation up until now, and we will continue to use them moving forward. But the city has spoken with our city attorney, and we have found that we are able to make a donation fund, which is separate from our general fund here with a city account. And that way, when we have a donation fund, we're able to have immediate access to those funds. There's no administrative fees. We can get really easy access to those donated funds whenever needed, and we can keep track of them pretty easily as well. Just like with general fund, they'll be audited every year along with the rest of the funds from the city, so everything will be above board on that. And so as far as the process of creating that, the Board of Aldermen has to approve that through an ordinance. That ordinance has gone to the board on first reading. That happened last week. It was approved on first reading, and the second reading will go on July 19th next month. And at that point, the fund will be approved and we'll be able to place funds in there specifically for Legacy Fund.
Do you feel like the Board of Aldermen that went over without a hiccup? Is there any reason that any of us would need to come to that meeting specifically?
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think with the explanation that we've given them, it's pretty cut and dry. And I think that they're on the same page as everyone else. So with the donation fund, we'll use it for legacy fund monies, as well as funds donated for our police department, and then funds donated for Megan's Plaza Claus as well. So there's kind of several different ways that we can use this fund. And thankfully it's something that the legacy fund can use as well to collect those donations. And one of the things that we'll also do, I mentioned earlier, we will still keep the Greater Kansas City Community Foundation account open, because as we are a city, anything that we do is applicable to Sunshine Law. So if there is someone out there who wants to donate anonymously, the only way to keep themselves anonymous is to donate through Greater Kansas City Community Foundation. If they were to donate straight to the city of Smithville, their information would be able to be public knowledge through a Sunshine request at that point. So we feel it's a smart move to keep both accounts available to us.
And then is there going to be a trackability, like how people want to donate or what they're specifically donating to, or will it all just go into it as more of a one big fund and the city can allocate or people can request funds or something like that?
Specifically with the donation fund?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we will be able to create line items
Okay.
for different projects. So what we're planning on doing after we create the donation fund is to create subsections for specifically legacy fund, police, and other Megan's Paws and Claws. And then underneath legacy fund, we can say someone wants to donate to general parks. We can have a line for that. If they want to donate specifically to the amphitheater, we can do for that, benches and trees, that kind of stuff. So
Awesome.
that way we know specifically what those individuals want that money to go to. The second half of having this donation fund with the city is that any donor will have to sign a one-pager agreement, basically that says after 10 years of these funds sitting in the donation fund, if they have not been used for the specific purpose of what they donated for, it will then go into the funds will be able to use for general purposes of that. So for instance, parks. So if they donated for benches and trees, but we've got a giant grant, we don't really necessarily need donations. After 10 years, if we haven't used that money for benches and trees, we can use that for general parks purposes. So there is some kind of sunset on those funds being donated, but we've set that at 10 years. So hopefully that won't really come into play, but it's kind of a backstop for us to make sure that those funds will still have a purpose long term. That is the update that I have as far as the fund creation. Any questions on that? Any more questions? Great. I will hand it off to Matt.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so this is actually gonna be really short, but it actually I great news. It didn't make the packet, but we did get an update on this after the packet went out. So on Tuesday, June 21st, I met with Landwork Studio and AB Creative, who are working on getting us a cost estimate and some designs for the stage. Their plan was to get back to us in July, but they actually got back to us just 2 days ago. So I'm going to share the new update so you guys can see what that looks like. Let's see here. Let me know if you guys see the new piece.
Still the agenda right now or the staff report.
This bar is right in the way.
Move out of the way, Bar. I
There
saw
we go.
some-
Yeah, the sharing screen bar. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see that now?
It looks like an invoice.
Yes. So this is the
Okay.
proposal. So
Very tiny.
still got probably a few things to work out, but this is basically showing working with AB Creative and Cedar Forest Products. They were able to put together kind of a kind of rough estimate of what we sent them as far as what we want the stage to look like, and where the location would be and what it would take to complete this. And they did try to work in a future cost hikes and different things like that, so.
Cool.
Uh,
Let's see
so-
here.
So this is the estimation for pricing for delivery and installation of the Cedar Forest stage. They tried to account for future price increases and then did their best for estimates as far as right now. So as you see, the first part is the stage itself. So it's 44 by 30. It'll have a rear wall where the storage room is in the back. It'll also include it being elevated off the ground with the concrete. It'll be all metal, and then obviously they'll have the kind of designs on the lower end of the pillars. It has also what it would take for the installation and the site excavation, coming out to just under 365,000. So what I was really surprised about, it was way under kind of what we were thinking it was going to be, of upwards of, $1 million. This is somewhere under $500,000.
Yeah, I feel like we could get a lot of buy-in from people because they feel like that would be unrealistic.
Yes. So here's kind of some of the, it's really kind of hard to see here. Some of the drawings, this is like the back of the stage here. And
Right.
this is kind of a side view here. It shows the stage on the back end down there. And then I kind of wanted to show you guys a picture as well.
Yeah, they do a rendering.
Not a rendering, but they showed us what someone similar had like us. So let me see if I can show you guys that real fast. So ours would be a little different because we'd have a full back on the back of that stage with the storage in the back as well. So this is kind of something they were looking similar to looking like.
Is this local?
Don't believe so. I asked and I haven't got back of where that was. They said they did something similar in Atchison before.
okay.
So this could be that one that they're referring to, but I hope to hear back to see where this actual one is from. So
Cool.
Do we know why there's such a big price difference? I mean, do they have?
my initial thought was more around that it was when we were doing the master plan, they were thinking of something a lot larger than what initially we were needing.
Well, and we
Because-
didn't build
because-
or anything, and I've seen some of those sound equipment bids, and those can be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, or lighting can be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
honest-
that's a good point. So electricity and like the equipment itself is not in this quote. This is just for the structure.
yeah,
And-
so if we start adding in that stuff for actual concert quality, we're gonna be tapping 800 pretty quick, if not more.
And Matt, you said that this also does not include labor costs as well.
It
Or
has
did they update it?
They did so yeah, this is this updated one that
Okay.
when me and you first met, I didn't have yet, and then we had
Okay.
this yet. So yeah, this does show site excavation and some of the
Yeah.
the labor costs in that, the installation cost of it. Yeah, this is 70,000.
I know. I guess we would want to be clear on site excavation and installation of concrete, because there's that rooftop and stuff over that maybe that's not accounting for. But it does say that it accounts for the storage space, which would have the roof over it. So
Yeah, so I do
I
think
feel like
that's
maybe
included,
that's a
yeah.
little unclear, and I don't.
We can clarify that.
Other than that, I'm.
Do they manage all of that, or is that in regards to?
Yeah,
anyone-
they have, AB Creative has their own crew that does the installation. It's called Cloverleaf. They do that.
So are we working on the next phase of getting pricing for all the lighting and sound and all of that stuff then too?
Yeah, that, we probably should do that. I can go ahead and start adding that to the list to do for lighting / electricity, and then sound equipment.
Well, hold on. I don't know that we need to have all that because a lot of these crews have their own stuff. So I don't know if we need to, I guess we could dig into that, but man, some of those people are real specific about what they want and they have their own stuff. So I'd say we need to explore with some bands that would actually be in this area and kind of test the waters for if they have their own stuff, or maybe even check Humphreys. They're bringing in a lot of different, bands, and they might be some that we tap into because they probably already have a local Smithville following.
I think if anything with this, we would need to make sure that it was just outfitted to accommodate those types of things. So making sure we put in conduit for wiring, adequate electrical plugins, everything like that. So the accommodation is there. So even if we get this built, it's there, and we still have the opportunity in the future if we do find the need that we need the lighting system, we need the sound system, we can still do that moving forward. But I mean, it might be good to separate out those two things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, we would definitely. Well, sorry if that was unclear, but yeah, we'd have to have the electrical for people to hook into to
Oh, absolutely.
to plug it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I did want to pass that along, and if there's anything specific you're looking in for the rendering, please let me know and I'll try to get some more clarification. But they did get this around pretty quick for us, which was really nice for that. So now we kind of have a more realistic price of what we're thinking about. We could always make this larger if we wanted to. We could also make it smaller, but 44 by 30 is kind of what they quote us at. The mayor and I are talking with a theater group to make sure this, can be adequate as well. And then possibly, like Angela said, we probably should think about signing like electric and lighting and making sure this size will be adequate for bands and stuff like that too. So still working on that, but just wanted to kind of give more of an update to kind of what we're thinking. So
one question that I had gotten is if we have a business plan kind of put together, who's gonna upkeep it and take care of it and all of that type of stuff?
Yeah, once it's an amenity, the Parks Department would take on the ongoing maintenance and repairs of it.
Matt, is that picture that you had about the size of what they quoted us?
Yeah, that's what I would believe, and I can get, that's a good question. I'll clarify on that on the picture.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, it looks like the next item up is the next fundraiser discussion on that.
Yeah, so basically we've had a few meetings now where we've kind of talked about what we want to do. We have a few large events coming up here in August. So you have Hot Summer Nights, if I say that wrong, Hot Summer Nights, yeah. And then you got Eric Craig's Festival coming up on August 13th. So in the beginning, you guys had talked about possibly setting up a vendor booth, bringing some of the renderings out there, and possibly even make an announcement on the maybe stage on kind of what we're doing. And then as well as kind of future dates, we could do something at the haunted campground, as well as if we really wanted to get in to start doing some side conversations of starting the fundraiser for the Lighted Christmas Parade through the campground. That's something that this group still wants to take charge on. So hopefully we really want to kind of nail down some action items probably pretty soon on if we want to attend an event and bring out the rendering boards with a way for patrons and community members to donate to the fund. So.
And remind me, Hot Summer Nights, that's every weekend in August, is that correct?
Yeah, every weekend. Yeah, basically
Every
every weekend.
Saturday.
So on the 13th of August, that's when Eric Craig will be doing his festival. So, but yeah, every weekend in August, the 6th, 13th, 20th, and 27th, there'll be something downtown at the courtyard.
I can look at my calendar and volunteer to speak some of those. I know I cannot make every single one of those. But I'd be happy to come down and do like, I don't know, what do you think? 2 minutes or less on the stage, just kind of going an overview, getting them excited, trying to get an investment.
Yeah. Starla, do you know anybody who's working either
Charlotte, you want to do some of them? Get up.
hot summer nights, who we could talk to about being like vendors too and things like that?
You mean as far as who's running it?
Yeah, are you guys gonna are you guys gonna be down there at all?
You guys being
those-
Kiwanis or? you
Or
guys-
yeah, everything that you're in, one of those things that you're in.
Yeah, I think Kiwanis will be down there the last night, but Harley, Morlock is the one, him and Jeff Becker are the ones that are running it and setting it all up. So I can talk to them and see if they would let us
Yeah.
set up a booth down there or not.
If not, I think we could probably talk to the mayor too about maybe having some things around his shop as well. That's down there because he was the one that helped us out for the sip and shop at the winery, at the wedding venue not too long ago. He set up our stuff there, so we could possibly do that there as well to have some information set up.
Did we talk any about doing I know Jennifer's big on this too. She knows all about it, the realtors, but like a silent auction or a raffle or something like that. Where at that event or any of those events, we could sell raffle tickets for something.
Maybe we
Yeah.
could do 50. Those are always pretty popular, and then you retain 50% of the funds. That's probably the easiest
Agreed.
from a perspective of, can you guys hear me okay? I'm sorry, my internet is going out here in the sticks. From a perspective of ease and collecting donation items, etc., those 50/50s are a lot easier to do than trying to get all the items, collecting all the baskets, and then we would have to pay for a service like BidPal. That's how we do it with KCRER, is we pay for a service through BidPal so that we have the ability to process all those payments. And it's not very cheap, Starla, it's expensive. But you know, when you're doing a $100,000 auction, you can afford to pay a little bit of money, and without
Right.
knowing how much of an impact we're going to make, it's a little bit hard to commit to BidPal because I think they have a minimum, and it's not, like I said, it's not cheap. I think I want to say it was like $5,000. I can dig and find out,
Wow.
but
Well, no, I
Yeah.
like the idea of the 50/50, and maybe we'll find somebody who will win and turn around and donate it back to us. Anyway,
yes, true.
It might be hard to do a 50/50 raffle because I think they already do one for Hot Summer Nights. Do you guys know, Matt or anyone?
I don't know.
I
Okay,
don't.
I believe that they already do one, but we could do that at our haunted campground since we do that event and it brings in a
Mhm.
whole lot of people.
It would be a little bit harder to announce the winner there though, because there's not one centralized like stage.
Sure, but we do like the
We could do it
costume
afterward,
winners and
yeah.
stuff at the end for the costume contest, and then like the winner of the best campsite that's decorated. So we could do something like that. I don't know that the winner would stick around for it, but I don't know they necessarily
I
need to be there.
Does it have its own Facebook page where we could do it live so that we could connect it?
We use our
Yeah.
Facebook page. We could do live with
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, that's kind of that's how we
There we go.
announce the winners as well. Yeah, so we could do that for that.
Yeah.
50/50 at Haunted Campground. Since that's our event, okay. And then possibly, if we're thinking short term, I can work on getting some more official renderings, because last time I used our city printer and printed off a thing, but we can actually get official rendering boards of have the stage presented on there. And then I'll talk with the mayor about possibly setting up, and I can myself and whoever wants to, volunteer their time could maybe sit around there and give off information for people who are interested. So for short term.
Do we have any, or are we going to put like any pamphlets together once we get the rendering that would have like the donation information that they can go here, they can mail a check there, or a little bit more on that we could just hand out as people walk by?
Okay.
That barcode flyer that we had a while back,
Hmm.
just adding that.
Yeah, maybe make that a little smaller to hand out with.
Mhm.
Okay.
Or if they could even print that on the rendering. I don't know if they
Yeah.
could.
We can definitely put the QR code on there, or at least a QR code that goes to the page where we kind of explain some more about it.
Yeah.
And if you guys want like a rah, let's raise some money, stick up the QR code, stick out the rendering. I just looked at my schedule and I could do a piece the 13th and the 20th. I'm already booked on the 6th and the 27th, but I could certainly commit to come down there those evenings and put something together and get up on stage and just do, hey, make sure you stop by the bike shop or whatever, wherever we want to set that up. And you can make your investments simply by scanning the QR code. And our goal is to have an amazing larger spot in Smithville for everyone to come and have a good time. However, and I'd love some help phrasing that, so
Yeah.
that it polished, ready to go. But once I have something, I can usually put it off pretty seamlessly. And people do tend to invest after I give a little speech. So they get the rah good energy, and it does tend to work. So if we want to capitalize on that, I'm fine with that. And we can try and see what we can do.
Okay, that works.
Did you
I
say
can
you're
move it to
available the 13th?
Yeah,
13th and 20th.
Because the 13th is Eric's deal, so we probably have to go through him.
Is it downtown? Is it like same spot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all in the courtyard. Yeah.
Okay, so Dalen had reached out to him and so have I, and I'm gonna just tell you, I'm not sure that he is receptive because he does not respond because we have asked. And so I think we were gonna try and tap the mayor. I could try and catch him out somewhere. Maybe that would get a better response. But if I'm being frank, he's got a lot going on in his personal life right now too. So I'm sure that I'm not his top priority asking about whether I can come have 2 minutes at his festival.
Yeah, and I can talk to the mayor, and also I work with the people who are putting together the application themselves, so they've been responding back pretty quickly on that. So we can possibly see what we can do.
Yeah, I've just been texting him personally, and I have not been hounding him though. I've sent 2 texts on it, and I think Daylin said she'd sent 2 texts on it, and neither one of us had heard.
Okay.
So
Well, thanks for trying.
yeah, and if it's a hard no, that's okay. We'll come on the 20th. Like
Yeah,
that's
for
fine.
sure.
I get it. I mean, and the thing is, maybe somebody other than a real estate person would have more success doing it because maybe he doesn't want another real estate person on the stage at his event. And I totally respect that and get that. That's fine. So, I mean, if he's willing to let me do it, I'm more than willing to do it. But if not, I understand as well.
Cool.
And you
Matt,
want
did-
me to talk to Harley about us being able to do that? Or you're just gonna do it at the bike shop?
Well, it depends. Do you know
yeah.
who's sponsoring the 20th? Because I mean, they have different sponsors for each night, don't they?
Right.
Or
Right.
co-sponsors?
Mhm.
Do you know who?
I
is
don't
the
off the top of
co-sponsor
my
on the
head, but
20th?
he'll tell me.
Yeah, I can do some
Yeah.
research and we can look into that.
I have to ask him about it anyway, because I think we're gonna sponsor or have sponsor a night, so. And the Hartman team too, so I'll email him and I'll ask him.
Perfect. Okay.
Hey, we can get Dan up there to ask as long as it's not a violation for an alderman.
He's on the Parks and
No,
Rec committee
We don't
too.
want Dan up there, because then it's gonna go way over 2 minutes, I
He won't-
promise.
yeah, he won't- he won't get
Well,
up there
and
quick
I'll
enough.
go up there with him, Starla. Trust me.
He'll still go over 2 minutes, I guarantee it. You probably had a 0 behind that too, and he'd probably still be talking if you'd let him.
Brittany, were
Oh.
you saying something?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
And what's the date on the haunted campground again?
October
Maybe.
22nd,
Yeah, October
And
20th.
when do reservations open for that?
August 1st.
because I know those sell out fast. So I will, and I do have a camper, so I'll try and reserve a spot and get up there and do something for that too.
Awesome.
And I can participate in a live with somebody if they want to do that. I mean, I'm happy to do media stuff. I know some people shy away from that, but once we have a plan and a specific ask, I'm all about getting out there in front of people and trying to collect what we can.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So I'll block that off on my schedule, and then I'll put August 1st down to make sure I reserve a campsite too, because we've actually camped at that a couple of years, but then I missed reservations a couple of years. So
Yeah, they're going quick. Like,
Oh,
I
they-
think last year went in like 15 minutes, 83 sites in like 15 minutes. That's insane.
is it like 8 a.m.?
Yeah, it'll be about 8 a.m. when we open that up.
Okay, I'll write that down also.
Anna, we had one question from a Parks and Rec committee member, asked, because they want to start looking into helping out with fundraising, but they want to know if they can meet outside of official meetings like this. So if we did want to start the conversation of doing something around Christmas time with at the campground of whatever that may look like for a light show, if a group could get together, you know, people of the committee and people of this group can get together unofficially and kind of start planning, because obviously meeting once a month to plan isn't going to be enough time.
So as far as sunshine laws, since the members of this committee and the members of the Park and Rec committee are all nominated and appointed by the mayor, we do have to follow all those sunshine laws. So if they want to meet to work through the meeting or through details of an event or anything like that, what we can do, it doesn't have to be an official meeting like this, but it will have to be posted. So at least 24 hours in advance, and it can be just like work session or something like that, where you say Legacy Fund, Park and Rec committee are meeting together for this agenda, and there can be one item on the agenda, and it can be planning for this event. I know it's not ideal, but I mean, we have to make sure that we're compliant with those.
Oh,
So,
I
I
don't
mean-
want to get any sort of crossways with people calling sunshine laws. So
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with following the rules on that one, because we've got enough controversy in other areas. We don't need to create it in this one. We need to keep this a positive experience for the community.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, if we just need to put out a calendar, like, you know, and get a couple of dates out there that are potential work sessions for people, I think that's easy enough to do a calendar and get enough dates and enough people and say the majority of people can meet this day. We'll have a work session. If you can come, please do, you
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
So,
Yeah, and it's just as simple as that. I mean, it has to be 24 hours in advance. I mean, to get that many people together anyway, it's got to be at least 2 weeks in advance to plan for it. So, yeah, just notify us and we'll post it out in our front area. We've got a poster board out front, and then we'll post it online as well. And at that point, if there's no action being taken, you're just working through details and everything like that. As long as the location and the time is posted, then you're good.
Okay, well, I'll work with the committee when we have our next meeting too, to figure out what they want to do to get something on the calendar to possibly plan. Because I know there's a few community members out there too who have reached out to me, Carol being one of them, and then a few others who are interested in joining a group, a volunteer group to start, the Christmas decoration stuff. So
when is that next committee meeting, Matt?
we have one on July 21st. It's a pretty hefty agenda with just a lot of parks related stuff. So I don't know if we'll get too much into the weeds of Legacy Fund and fundraising, but if you guys want to attend, you still can.
I mean, you could just throw out the doodle option, or even collect 5 dates from people.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll be hard to get 5,
Yeah, no, like still get some dates, because we only meet quarterly. So I mean, they do have some, a lot less meetings with us than they would if they were like we're doing these monthly. So
Okay.
I'll get some dates and then even just some names of people who are interested, and I can start, another email chain with some people.
Yeah, that sounds great.
More the merrier.
Yeah, how many more people can we have on here? Because honestly, we're gonna need people to walk around and sell 50/50 tickets, if I'm being honest.
Well, we can always
Yeah.
get volunteers. We're
Yeah,
full
'cause
up on
Say the park
member
staff is,
spots.
the park staff was pretty busy parking people. We were parking people for like
Mhm.
3.5 hours, and we never really got to go down to the actual campground itself. There were so many people. Yeah, it
People,
was like,
volunteers then, so keep those
Yeah.
people around and,
yeah,
we gotta give them a long life cycle to stick with us, because this is gonna take probably, I don't know if I think we set a goal in the beginning. Was it a 3-year goal? Is
yeah,
that okay? See, at least I remember some things, right?
there you go.
We just need to have people that'll be with us for the long haul,
Yeah. All right, so I'll follow up and work on the short-term goal of getting that the event either on the 13th or 20th and figure out some details there and get some renderings on that. Work on clarifying some of the installation and size of the stage, electric and lighting, and then doing some handouts for more information on how to donate, and then long-term goal is 50/50 for Pawnee Campground. So
Perfect.
do we want to schedule the next meeting while we're all here?
Yes. Are we wanting something in 3rd week of August or 4th week of August? What are you guys thinking?
If we're gonna meet, well, if you're gonna have a fundraiser on August
Or-
13th or
I'm-
20th,
I totally meant July, by the way.
Oh, okay.
we're still in June. We've got one more day.
I was like, man, she just must be busy. She just must be busy in July.
Yeah.
I am busy in July, but that was. Anyways, yeah, I'm too busy. That's the problem. But no, because we'll want, if we can get something on the 6th, and then we'll see about the 13th or the 20th. So do we want to try and get together like the week of the 18th of July? Would that work? Or do we need to meet before your Parks and Rec meeting? Or do you think it would be more
No.
beneficial to do it on the 22nd for any reason?
22nd works.
Are
How's
you
the
all still
22nd?
comfortable doing it during the day in this format?
I am. Yeah. Is everybody good with that?
As long as it's in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you like this time slot, like this 2:30 or right in there?
That works for me.
Yeah.
Do we want to do 2:30, July the 22nd?
Yeah, we can do that.
That works.
And then maybe Matt will have some fun facts to share with us from his
Yeah.
heavy work meeting.
Yeah, no, that'd be good.
Right?
Okay.
And I'll talk to Harley then by then too, if not sooner. I may just email everybody out if I can find out if we can do it or not.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Thank you, Charlotte.
Bet.
Is Carol still on? Because we are down to the public comment.
No, it looks like, so she was on and she's off. She came back on. She might be having internet issues too. So she's not on at the moment. But maybe we can follow up. with her.
I'll reach back out to her. I think she was just wanting to just hear what was going on. I don't think she really had anything too much. So, but I'll reach back out to her to see if she did have anything specific that we do adjourn before she gets back on.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything for the good of the group?
I do not.
You guys did. Thank
Hold on
you
one
for helping.
Well, maybe. It looked like she called. So I was thinking
Angela, you're unmuted.
Carol called. So I was gonna see if
Oh, gotcha.
trying to log back in again.
Does anybody text her and let her know to pop back on if she wants to? I don't have her number.
I'll let her know.
I'm looking to see if I have it. I don't have it saved.
Hmm.
So if we're at Hot Summer Nights, what do we want to do? Just set up a table with an exhibit and ask for donations? Is that kind of what we are looking at doing, or just so I can tell?
Well,
Holly?
Kind of
Yeah, and
sounds
if we
like,
get, what time does it start again?
I think
4,
5.
5?
Yeah, I think 5.
Is it 5 to 8?
I think it just depends on how long anybody hangs out or how late the band goes. I think sometimes it's later. Do you know, Anna?
I'm not entirely sure. I know that sometimes it does go later because of the bands.
Well, my thought is to try and, I feel like people are slow to come in at 5 when I've been in the past, but by 6 o'clock, you've got a really good crowd. And if the food trucks are there or whatever they do, some of the time, like you've got people eating, you've got people around, they would be able to hear us. And then we would be able to set up and say, we'll be at the bike shop until X time. Please come over, talk to us about the future of Smithville, talk to us about our plans. And if you're so inclined, you can make an investment. We have the drawings, we have this, we have that, and then just try and get them over there. Do we have anything we can give away?
That's just
Please
what I
come
was
over so we
thinking.
can give, so we can give you, and I don't want it to be
Yeah.
a koozie. We need to give them something cool, but cheap, cool, but cheap.
Yeah, I mean, we always have the campground. We could give away some free nights too. I
Ooh,
think what else?
we could even say it's a drawing,
Yeah,
a drawing for free nights at campground.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys want to, I can sell it. I promise you. But the point will be to just get people over there to see it, to start to kind of create the excitement and start to create the inertia. Because I truly believe once we get it going, it's going to snowball into something to continue. And if we can really get it going, we'll raise the money in faster than 3 years for
yeah.
that. So,
All right.
A recommendation, so Carol, Matt, if you just want to give Carol a call when we're done.
Okay.
She's
Okay.
just looking for a meeting date about Christmas campground stuff, so.
Thank you for doing that.
The recommendation, go ahead.
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna share the kind of the recommendation that I'd gotten was finding, your big, not necessarily big, but 20, 25 families to help build up that 2/3 of what we want to that 2/3 of our fundraising amount. So in this case, the 350, or if we want to do 2/3 of the million. And then from there, starting to utilize more events. So that way, when people come to the events, they're not trying to go from here to here, but they're trying to go from here to here to help close that gap. So then it's like, hey, I want to help them get across the finish line, right? And get us a lot closer. So thought I would share.
Perfect. Yeah, we could definitely like kind of take the number and then even divide it back and then kind of do some prospecting,
Years.
if you will. Yeah.
I like that.
Cool.
Anything else?
Does anyone have anything else?
Who knows
I'm-
anybody from Herzog?
They had a
Yeah.
kickball team last year. Maybe I should reach out to the kickball players.
Yeah.
Do it.
I reached out to Humphreys about doing a celebrity bartending night. This would be kind of like Healthy Headquarters, where it probably won't raise a lot of money, but it will raise a lot of publicity around the fact that we're trying to raise money. So essentially what I would like to do is promote it as a night where Parks and Rec employees or board members or whatever, or even just coaches in our leagues are the ones bartending. And then the tips go towards the legacy fund. So we'll help promote the event, get people there. When I did this in a previous role, we did like a specialty drink where we had like a mixed drink that was like for the occasion and like a shot. I don't know how crazy we want to get with it, but and then the proceeds from those drinks went to the fund as well. So I'm trying to see if David is interested in that or what that would look like for just a small fundraiser.
How does that work with the liquor license?
So what it
Cause I'd
was,
be all in for coming down and help.
you could only do canned and bottled beer and pour from tap. So you couldn't actually be a real bartender. You were just handing out drinks versus mixing drinks. And then you didn't have to have any licensing.
Perfect.
And we used to do it at Dubious Claims in Excelsior Springs, and it was always a pretty good fundraiser for the amount of effort it takes, which is just a couple hours of your evening. So
Well, I know that David agreed to help what just happened? What was the little shindig that they just did a few weeks ago? Lake Fest? No,
yeah.
it was it.
Lake
Okay,
Fest.
so I know David pretty well. Like literally, he's known me since I was probably 5 years old. So he shared with me that he had agreed to split profits with the Lake Fest group in advance, and they had made some agreements and signed a contract and everything. And I guess some stuff went down in between that where it didn't work out. But I know he's made agreements like that and was willing to help out.
Okay.
So, I mean, and that was a fairly busy time, right? Like, so that could theoretically be a large fundraiser if you got to keep half the profits.
For sure. And was that
Why
just
don't
like,
we do that
He's been open to,
during hot summer nights? Because
I
they're
can
busy.
make but to see. Yep, as long as they're doing all right, I think I could probably talk to him about that and see what, because I think he was letting him work the back tent, or I'll have to. My husband's the one that knew the full meal deal because he went down there a couple of nights. I was actually out of town, but I will tap into David and try and go down there and just have lunch or dinner or something and chat with him and go, hey, here's kind of what we're working on, but I hadn't even thought of that. So that's a great idea, Brittany.
awesome, thank you.
Yep.
And I volunteer to bartend.
You are a
you.
celebrity.
With those celebrity now.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
Love it.
Very good. No, I like it. Any more fun fundraising ideas? All right.
Adjourn.
So we got- Hit up, get our identified list of our 20 to 25 prospects to make a big dent in it. Our haunted campground stuff, some 50/50, some hot summer nights planning, and then we'll rendezvous again July 22nd at the same time, 2:30, and we'll map out some more of this stuff. And obviously we can kind of start keeping a list of volunteers. It sounds like we have people that want to help out. I know, Matt, you've already kind of got some prospects for that, so we can kind of start assimilating a list, because we could have more than just us helping during those hot summer nights too, and it would be good to have a few hands on deck. So awesome.
Something else to think about. The Kiwanis has thought about this, but I just can't get enough people to help me out that have enough gumption like the rest of us do to make it happen. But people are all about their pets. And I've seen this before where they put their picture out there and they have you vote on, your pet. It's like, yeah, my pet's up for this, my pet's up for that, go out and you put money in for that pet to win. Kind of like, I don't know if little Mr. and Miss Smithville are like that, but it used to be that way. You put a money in a jar or money in somewhere at their picture, and that's how they won. But I don't know if we could pull something like that off, where we have their pictures out there, the pets and whoever wants to enter, and then we just have some sort of gift, whether it's a brick with their name on it at the amphitheater or the shelter or whatever we put up, something with their name somehow, how they're memorialized, I guess, that somebody would want their pet to win.
Yeah.
It's an easy way to raise.
Yeah, people bet
money.
thousands of dollars in pet contests.
Yeah. I just can't get enough people to help me pull it off with Kiwanis. So maybe we can do this here in Legacy.
Yeah,
Sorry, I gotta answer this.
you're good. I think we're good to adjourn now, looks like.
Yeah, does anyone have anything else? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion to adjourn.
All right,
All right. Anyone else?
all right.
All right, I think we'll call this meeting adjourned. Thank you guys so
All
much.
right,
That was
thank
awesome.
you.
I appreciate you, Matt, getting all
Yep.
together and everybody working on the fundraiser. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
We'll
Bye.
see you next time.
Bye. Bye.